Right now, the lack of consistency, it is stunning to watch Trump do this. He's all over the place right now on social media. I mean, he initially signaled right away that America had nothing to do with what happened in Iran, that America was not going to get involved, that he was negotiating peace. Then he signaled that he didn't have any idea that the attack was coming, but also that he did know that the attack was coming. And now he's tweeting we. He's literally using we to describe what is happening in Iran right now. Let's just take a look at some of these tweets. We now have complete and total control of the skies over Iran. Iran had good sky trackers and other defensive equipment and plenty of it, but it doesn't compare to American-made, conceived, and manufactured stuff. Nobody does it better than the good old USA. Oh, well, hey, yeah, we've got our planes in the skies. Okay, American troops might die, but USA, 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 because our stuff is so good and good looking in the sky. The big bad American planes are in the sky. What does he think? We're stupid? And the people online that are trying to pretend that we are the ones betraying Trump for holding him accountable to his promises that he made to us when we voted for him, when we encouraged other people to vote for him. You're pretending that we're the ones that are problematic? This level of gaslighting that's taking place. You got Laura Loomer out there saying, screenshot every tweet that's against Donald Trump. Let me tell you something, sweetheart. You better start capturing Donald Trump's tweets that are going out right now because they seem pretty against Donald Trump's ideas of yesteryear. That's all I'm saying.
Where does my support for Israel come from? Number one, because biblically we're commanded to support Israel. But number two,
hold on.
I'm not holding on.
Hold on. You're a senator, and now you're throwing out theology, and I am a Christian, and I am allowed to weigh in on this. We are commanded as Christians to support the government of Israel?
We are commanded to support Israel. And what
does that mean, Israel?
We're told those who bless Israel will be blessed.
But hold on, define Israel. This is important. Are you kidding? This is a majority Christian country.
Define Israel? Do you not know what Israel is? That would be the country you've asked like 49 questions about.
So that's what that's what God is talking about.
The nation of Israel, yes.
So is that the current borders, the current leadership? He's talking about the political entity called Israel?
He's talking about the nation of Israel. Yeah, nations exist, and he's discussing a nation. A nation was the people of Israel.
Is the nation
They're the descendants
God's
of
referring
Abraham.
to in Genesis, is that the same as the country run by Benjamin Netanyahu right now?
Yes.
It is.
And I'm really happy he said that because when you hear it, you realize how ridiculous it sounds. Even if you're not following the theology, if you don't identify as a Christian, you realize that you have a senator that is sitting across saying that his number one reason, he didn't say one of the reasons, he said my number one reason that I support Israel is because the Bible commands me to do so. And just so you know, the Bible does not command, and this is what Tucker Carlson is getting to in that clip, it absolutely does not command you to support the modern state of Israel. Like Genesis is pointing to the modern 1948 created state of Israel, and you must support it despite the fact that it is very much involved in what can only be described as demonic behavior since its creation, right? And so you're going to ignore every other biblical passage. You're going to misinterpret this one. It's a dispensationalist heresy. Dispensationalist heresy, which was factually funded by the World Zionist Congress. And we can do another episode on that as I present to you guys all of the evidence that what it guided the notations. This really stems from the Schofield Bible, the heresy of the Schofield Bible. Schofield himself was an absolute fraud, who got funded and was overseas and alleges that he wrote all of these notes in the Bible and is telling people how to read their Bibles. The first time that notations were put underneath the passages. So this is what Genesis says, and this is what it means. And this is how this heresy arrived in America. Then somehow this guy is able to, it becomes the most printed book, and Oxford Press gets behind it because like a random pastor, you get the idea here. It was very much a funded effort to have Christians misunderstand the Bible. And Ted Cruz is one of these Christians.
Accusations! These are not accusations. This is false accusations. And
the Bible says that this attack at the end of time will come on Israel from the north and the south, and that will be the final war, the war to end all wars that will usher in the end of time. Now here's the question. Are we entering into that war right now? In Ezekiel 38 and 39, it mentions nations Gog and Magog. That would be like modern day Russia. It also mentions Persia in Ezekiel 38 and 39. That corresponds to modern day Iran. What we do know is that if Iran enters the war, that Turkey and Russia will probably go with them. Right behind them will be North Korea and China. And if all of the world powers start attacking from the north and the south, start trying to attack Israel, that could be the war to end all wars that ushers in the end of history. You may be going right now like, bro, this is heavy, man. Can I just say this? There's a lot of hope in Ezekiel 38 and 39 because we know how that battle ends.
The problem with this is that it's been prophesized that this war that they're pushing us into right now will result in the world begging for peace, and the solution to end all wars is global governance.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly if they wanted to do it.
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb. Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a decade. Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
Accusations! These are not accusations. This is false accusation. And
a short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin-Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say We love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel. And God bless America. Thank you.
I love some pussy before I go.
Iran-Israel war shows no signs of stopping, and now, on day 6, it has entered its most explosive and deadly phase yet. And now, there are serious concerns that this conflict could soon turn into a nuclear war. Over 220 Iranians have reportedly lost their lives in ongoing Israeli airstrikes, while Iran's response has led to the deaths of 24 Israelis. This war is no longer just a conflict between two countries. It now risks pulling the entire world into its orbit. Israel is receiving support from the US, Canada, France, India, Italy, Germany, and most European countries. Meanwhile, Iran is backed by China, Pakistan, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and several other Middle Eastern countries. It's been 6 days and Middle Eastern airspace remains restricted, disrupting flights between Europe, Asia, and Africa, causing longer routes, higher costs, and widespread delays. The Middle East holds 48% of the world's oil reserves and exports to the entire world, and this conflict is now fueling global inflation, economic instability, and a growing crisis. With the way this conflict is escalating, there's a serious concern that in the end, either Israel or Iran will be left standing. What do you think? Will this deadly conflict end with Israel or Iran standing alone?
من هدف مشروع ایران هستند. آمریکا با این اقدامی که انجام داد علیه ایران و حریم هوایی ایران را شکست و جنایت علیه ایران انجام داد دیگه جایی در منطقه غرب آسیا نداره. آقای رئیس جمهور آمریکا، شما شروع کردید و ما تمومش خواهیم کرد.
This is a statement from Donald Trump, quote, "We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran," etc. I agree. And I want to tell you something. Not only is this news that I've just heard, the second alarming that all of you have just heard, but it is so grossly unconstitutional. All of you know.
Just want the money. They won't even believe that you're intelligent if you don't have a lot of money.
Right. Right. Well, that's what people always ask you. They say, why aren't you a billionaire?
Why aren't I a billionaire?
That's what people, I've seen people
billionaires hate my guts. See, I don't go along with look, they have to give you the opportunity to make money. You need to have connections. In order to make money, you need to make friends out of people who have a lot of it.
If you'd had the connections, would you have striven to make money?
Not at the expense of truth. No, I'd have gone after meaning first. Now, I used to think that, well, it should be possible in theory to go after both. And then I discovered that that wasn't necessarily true. Yep. If you go after truth too hard, then you're going to make a bad impression on mammon, on the people with all the money, and eventually you're going to be canceled out of any sort of comfortable life.
Gentlemen, in exactly 5 days, we will be $100 billion richer. Gentlemen, in exactly 5 days, we will be $100 billion richer.
A lot of shit pissed me off. Like we got Candace Owens pretty much taking a step back from what Donald Trump already had going on. She pretty much saying that she don't understand why Donald Trump is making some of the decisions he's making, and he's not going along with the campaign promises. What president went with the campaign promise? Whatever gets him elected is usually not what they stated. And I'm going to say, as soon as he got elected, he probably got bought off. You know how that works? Like lobbyists and shit, right? So they're all in the fucking Congress and they're all in the Senate and they're all with the presidency, right? And they fund these people to make sure they're reelected. I know that Trump got funded by Elon Musk, but now that he's actually in office, there's people that's pulling him here and there and all kind of stuff, right? Some like Qatar bribed him with a fucking jet, right? Or whatever, a house on fucking on the sky, whatever the case might be. You know what I'm saying? We got these people constantly trying to put money in our president pockets. If he goes that way, then we see different outcomes from what he promised. If he doesn't go that way, then we might actually get some change. But ever since he got into office, right, we're kind of confused and not understanding why he's choosing some of the stuff he's doing. He's doing some of the things that he promised to do, but if you really look at his policy, right, he was supposed to be trying to drain the swamp and make America great again. Now he's arguing with Elon Musk and sending texts back and forth with Elon Musk, and it's really not getting to what we thought it was going to be as far as, I mean, he fired a lot of people, right? You drain the swamp like that, but these are average fucking folk. We're talking about the people at the top, the echelons. But that's the thing. Even Elon Musk said it's deeper than what he thought. You know what I'm saying? So if Elon Musk isn't actually getting what he thought he could do, accomplish, and he's one of the richest men in the world, and Donald Trump is the president, they're working together. If they can't accomplish some of the things that they thought they could, then it is what it is. Candace Owens shouldn't be wrapping her little head around that type of stuff because we're talking about millionaires and billionaires and these guys that have this power to actually make shit move and they can't make stuff move because it's a bigger club. It's people that's pulling strings that you don't know what the fuck they even do. What did Jeffrey Epstein do besides have millions of dollars? What did he do? Like, how did he get his millions of dollars? There's a lot of people put in these positions and they don't know how the fuck they got that money. I'm just saying, man. They give them front companies, they give them these companies, and y'all think that, oh, he designs shoes. Oh, he runs a tech company. Oh, no, man. No. A lot of this stuff is ran, funded by and operated by the CIA. And the CIA turns around and gives these people the titles and give these people the money and give these people prestige and all that stuff. So now you're looking at these people like they're a higher up, but they're really just a puppet. They can't even spend the money that they're given. They got it in their bank account. They got it on their net worth. They don't. It's so hard to spend $200 million. Now, what are you going to spend $200 million on? 300 million. What are you spending $300 million on? You got the car, you got the house, you got the jet, you got the boat. You still have 190 million dollars to go. What are you spending $200 million on? See, they can't even spend the money that they have. You can't go buy an island. I mean, you can, but they're not letting you just do these type of things. You just can't go and do shit. Shit is already regulated, it's owned by somebody. People are already have claim to that land. You can't just go and buy and do whatever the fuck you want to do. You might go buy a fancy car. They know that ain't gonna change nothing. You try to start buying farmland and pushing people out the way and doing this and I'm gonna be independent. Nigga, you might be dead by the end of the year. Keep playing with these people, acting like you could change some shit. Candace Owens is finally seeing that dudes that even her husband with millions of dollars, dudes that actually want to make change in the world can't. They can't. They even bought out. They're even persuaded to make certain adjustments to their uh, policies, if you will. Why you thought that Donald Trump was gonna rock with you? I even got motherfucking Alex Jones looking stupid, right? This nigga looking surprised. Why did he do that? Why did he do that? He's bought out. He's paid opposition now. Sorry to tell y'all. He's just as bad as Biden in the what's it, Ukraine laundering money through Ukraine. Where's President Trump gonna launder his money through? Now he's trying to figure that part out. The sand niggas. He going to the sand niggas. Some people go to Ukraine. All right. Somebody got to act like, well, we got to fund these people. We got to give them $3 billion. They're funneling the money. Whatever, man. It is what it is, man. Signs acceptance, and we ain't having it. Like, I'm subscribed.